24 carry gold ring though, if you know what I'm saying, bro.
I mean, expensive, but you gotta just get it somehow, right? Just
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
engage until there's no more.
You get that bread.
Yeah, like they're definitely eating the wheat for sure.
Yep. Looking at Paw Patrol's comp though, see the Kaisa, Xerath coming out, two very strong picks transitioning to late game. Paw Patrol overall, in my opinion, has much more late game damage per se. That being said, though, it can get very scary with OTP engaging onto them 24/7 because you look at this Paw Patrol team comp, you get this Alistar and Sejuani Yorick. That doesn't really scream peel for your Kaisa and Xerath in any way, shape, or form. It's going to be up to Paw Patrol really to keep their flanks clear, get those wards in the correct spots, pressure as a team, and perhaps look for picks onto that Aurelion Soul and the Sivir and stuff like that in order to make sure that these team fights don't get incredibly scary for them.
I'm not gonna lie. These teams, like if you flip OTP's champion comp, the team comp to Paw Patrol, it's what I'm trying to say is Paw Patrol tends to play a lot of heavy engaged team fighting comps. So does OTP. But in my opinion, I could be wrong about this, is Paw Patrol has more versatility of what they can do, because OTP's strongest suit is when everyone is all together, right? Paw Patrol, however, Yorick, once he gets going, you need at least 1 or 2 people in order to stop Yorick when Yorick's split pushing. That being said, if you can shut down Yorick early and force Paw Patrol to constantly team fight over and over again, One Trick Pony looks like it's gonna be an easy game for them, for me.
Definitely. Well, yeah, one thing we talk about with that Yorick, it's very true. It's really nothing on the side of OTP can really threaten that Yorick split push an insane amount. And in fact, one of the best champions for playing into Yorick and Cho'Gath is banned away earlier by OTP to prevent StarCraft from being flexed top. So in a way, OTP kind of gave over the tools for Paw Patrol to pick Yorick. That being said, though, both of these comps are honestly looking, to win the same way. Like they have engaged. Most of them want a team fight, and so I think we're going to. So looking at OTP, it's just like their comp does the same thing, but better mostly. So I really think the only way Paw Patrol wins this game without mistakes is going to be this Yorick here.
Yeah, I will have to agree with that. I guess while both teams have a very specific goal in mind, it looks to me at least that how they approach a team fight, however, it's gonna change the outcome of how it's gonna go in. Like if the Malphite engages immediately and destroys Kaisa, everyone else follows in. Malphite engages, Hecarim engages, destroy the Kaisa. They're gonna lose like 50% of their backline damage right there. They're gonna just straight up lose, right? Meanwhile, when the OTP is engaging, all they gotta do is let Sivir just hit the tanks in the front, and the boomerangs will do the damage for them. So Paw Patrol really has to be careful. Bless you. Paw Patrol really has to be careful how they approach team fights, in my opinion. But you're right. They do have similar goals, but it really depends on how they approach it, how they decide to take the fight, and how they manage the macro game.
Yes, just looking at both of these comps, considering they both want to win in reasonably similar fashions, I think this is going to be one of those games where you see action happening somewhere, and there's one deciding team fight, and from that point forward, the team that wins that fight usually just runs away with the game unless they throw it.
Yep, I would have to agree with that. Before, in the team fight though, Xerath has to be the one mitigating how the team fight starts, how the team fight ends, because as long as they can prevent a delay to engage by OTP and constantly do some poke damage to the point where Kaisa can just clean up everything, Xerath or Purple Cycle Dog has to constantly pump out damage in range in order to poke them constantly. That being said, Slaga is playing Taric, which has shield and heal for their team. And having that invincibility frame for his ultimate when they engage, it's gonna be pretty dangerous for Paw Patrol to fight against.
I 100% agree. And speaking of this Xerath pick, though, as you've said, probably the one outlier factor in terms of when you look at the team fight, the 5v5 or perhaps 4v5 with Yorick split matchups, that Xerath is going to be a key point to focus on in these team fights, just because he's the one who's putting out the poke. He's the only one who really plays the game. Xerath and Yorick are really the only two champions in this game that have different options than a lot of the other champions in this game. And the Xerath pick as well, matching up pretty well mid lane into the Cerulean Soul. Xerath in the past has proven to be not only a valuable pick for most PMA LCS mid laners, but also Xerath happens to play very well into a lot of Flesh's champion pool, so I'm excited to see what Purple Psycho Dog can do here on this Xerath. And one interesting thing I want to point out as well is this Ignite, is this Smite and Ignite hacker
I was
coming out
about
here.
to mention that right there. I was gonna mention it as soon as you're done. I've never seen. Is that Shaco in disguise? Are we being fooled? Is that? I don't think that's Shaco. That's actually Shaco in disguise.
That's actually Shaco. I mean, he's a master of disguise, dude. He can.
Honestly,
Shaco presses Q. He uses Deceive. Help pops the hacker him. I mean, there's nothing to see here.
is that the new meta? Maya said the new meta as Fizz, Jungle, Ignite, and Might. I faced against it. I didn't want to make a entire game, but can Hacker with Ignite and Smite because she goes in order to efficiently gank or engage the enemy team, and I don't think Ignite might be the best decision unless you really want to trade early game.
Yeah, he has neither Smite. Yeah, he has neither Ghost nor Predator here, so I think especially ganking pre-6 is going to be incredibly difficult for this Hecarim. That being said, though, someone from Paw Patrol makes a mistake, this Hecarim's going to have a field day throughout the entire early to mid game, though, just because of like the amount of raw power Conqueror Hecarim brings to the table, plus the Ignite kill pressure it has. It'd be really difficult to just run away from that.
What did he take? Conquer. That's right. That's a lot of damage. And Hecarim does take charge Conqueror pretty fast with Q and the whenever he has a passive for Q the cooldown reduction from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. And that's gonna really dish out a lot of damage, giving additional healing when the junglers are fighting in obviously the jungle. So I'm really looking forward to how they approach the scuttles, because Sejuani doesn't have bad scuttles clear, and neither does Hecarim.
Yeah, so that Conqueror incredibly easy to proc, just because you get the you prepare the charge, his E, and then you just use your Onslaught of Shadows, run into the entire team. You get a proc from that, you get a proc from your Devastating Charge, and then you get a proc from your Rampage, and then an auto, as well as your W field, and your Conqueror is already procced. And from there, because your Rampage does more damage with each successive use, you're just going to be mowing down people in the you're going to be mowing down people in the sustained fight from that point on. Speaking of which, Taric working really well with this comp, in my opinion. Taric works well with a lot of Conqueror champions, just because you get them invulnerable, you get them their Conqueror stacks, and then once they have their Conqueror stacks, they're still full health because they pop out of Taric shield, and then they just melt you because they have Conqueror and they're healing.
Right. Did you want to pause the game at 10 seconds? Alright, we'll go there.
Alright, I am there right now.
Alright, whenever you're ready, I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, go, and we can stuff from there. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright.
We did it, boys. Woo-hoo!
PogChamp, boys. And they're off, just like that.
Hell yeah, dude. So, meanwhile, in this game here, both teams can be starting off the classic 5-point defense strategy, or in the case of Paw Patrol, looks like a 4-point defense coming out here, but
get the damage.
Oh, massive damage for Purple Psycho Dog. Holy moly. We're talking about that Xerath matchup. It's coming in clutch already, dude. Massive damage. Look at the plays.
It's GG's already. Might as well surrender. 4-3 to 10. Forget 15.
Look at the plays. Oh my god, there's another one.
He's
Jesus, look at the Xerath. She's crazy.
Purple Psycho Dog, more like Purple Mad Dog, dude. Those skill shots are insane.
That's nuts.
Nutty, dude. Insane skill shot. Look at that health.
And make sure if you look mid lane, be sure you cover the eyes of your small children right there. You do not want to see what that Taric is doing, ladies and gents. That is definitely we're gonna get Twitch banned for that one. I'm pretty sure, actually. Yeah,
Hot
no
and
one wants to
cool
see
like
that.
Slaga, more like hot and banned like Slaga.
Hot and banned like Slaga. This one time at Bandcamp, dude.
Oh my god. That's where the oldest story comes from. One time in Bandcamp, and that's where all the legend begins. Speaking of Bandcamp, the what is it, American Pie? It has a Bandcamp episode, I think.
Yeah, that does have a Bandcamp episode because that's originally I believe American Pie is originally where this one time in Bandcamp joke started from.
Oh, really? I actually had no
Yeah,
idea
I
about
think so.
that. The more you know.
Yeah,
The
Bandcamp,
more
I
you
hardly know her.
Stop. That doesn't even work. Please, my brain hurts.
Some quick trading going on in bot lane. Slugga gonna miss a stun there. That's called a Dazzle, I think. Maybe. Flash getting this wave pushed in. Click on. Yeah, it is Dazzle. Okay, so Flash getting this mid wave pushed in very quickly over here, as Aurelion Souls typically do. Theatrix gonna take this bottom Scuttle Crab down pretty quickly now, bringing that Smite. Missing piece being thrown down on the mid. Where is that Aurelion Soul, ladies and gents? The answer is covering for the jungler.
And looking at the build, oh,
Wait, they're going in. Purple Psycho Dog gonna flash away immediately, though, not letting him deal with any of that.
I honestly didn't think that he was gonna get anything because the duration for the rampant charge was about to run out, and he would have been stunned, but I don't think he would have been near death when that happened.
I don't think that would have killed him. Although Borkvius found Theatrix in the river looking for the Smite bite. Scuttle gonna go over to Theatrix, though, on this Hecarim.
Wait, did Hacker just auto that, or did he smite that? Because I'm
He smited it.
You sure? Because I don't think his smite would have been up by now.
His smite's, he had a second. Yeah, he had a second smite up. It's definitely up.
Interesting.
And actually, yeah, and Borkvius still had a smite up as well.
Yeah.
On Wolf, so yeah, I believe that was a smite. Theatrix there. Theatrix can go back in the jungle, clear this red buff over here. Back to that flash in mid lane. I'm not sure how entirely necessary it was, especially as you have to teleport as well. So like, you get low, you just back, you take the L, and you TP back in the wave. Holding that flash, especially when you have to deal with Aurelion Soul and Hecarim running in your lane, level 6, is something you want to have in your toolbox there.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Either way, like you go teleport or you go barrier, especially barrier, because that'll prevent you from even having to back in the first place. I feel like either of those spells just seem far more useful to want to have to use in that situation than Flash.
Patience is the name of the game here, especially with Darius with mobile carry in the mid lane. Burning the Flash this early into the game means Darius is very much prone to more ganking, and speaking of ganking, here comes Hecarim to the top lane.
Yeah, he was backing earlier, but he's not backing now. But unfortunately, he is going to be spotted on a ward here by StarCraft's Yorick, and he's going to be forced to back in this bush here. Not gonna realize the fruits of any of his top pressure labor here.
Let's talk about jungle real quick. So I thought Hecarim right now is supposed to go full clear one side, hit level 3, and then get the boots. Well, I guess boots wouldn't really matter at this point because you don't have Predator.
Exactly, that's the old school Predator build, and that's perfectly fine. But right now, what we're seeing coming out of Hecarim is the full Warrior into Trinity Force build from Hecarim, as that Warrior item with Conquer actually proving to be a very gold efficient pickup. And in unrelated news, StarCraft topside keeping this wave frozen exactly where it needs to be though. And then Beowulf, miscommunication going on there, headbutting Theatrix and comboing him up while they OP both Poppy back in the bush. And it looks like Question Theatrix can go straight in on Beowulf. Good flash over the wall though.
That was a good flash by Beowulf for sure. And this is what I'm talking about with OTP. OTP always does this. OTP plays a jungler who has somewhat of an early / mid game presence. And Flash just like roaming the entire game, being the second jungler that he can be. And
Flash just runs around.
Yeah, as you seen there just now, having that map control, just having that mobility, while Darius has to stay in lane to farm, he gets the roam and forcing the flash from Beowulf and carrying the dragon. And that wind dragon early is definitely going to help Hecarim a ton.
Yeah, without a question, that's going to be very valuable Wind Dragon. That early game pressure there coming out, especially that one miscommunication is actually all they needed to have that Dragon going the way of OTP. Meanwhile, return gank in the mid, coming back from Theatrix here. Theatrix will be taken extremely low. Morpheus is here waiting in the wings, going in. good Arcana Pulse by Purple Psycho Dog here. And it looks like the Rite of the Arcane will be dropped right here. Theatrix doing his best to run away, dodging, but the last one is going to take him down. First blood, the Purple Psycho Dog on the Xerath. And now Flash, he's in some hot water over here. And it's not just hot because he's playing Ashen Lord Aurelion Soul either. He's going to be forced to flash over that wall real quick.
And that was pretty unfortunate for OTP. The gank that Hecarim initiated looked to be good at the first play, but on the other side, on the top side, unfortunately, Sejuani was standing by in case there was any gank. And there he is. Hecarim takes the power shot and has to back up, and Xerath hit level 6 at the time, and using the third Arcana, his ultimate, secures a kill from Hecarim.
And top lane, Ganwyn going down in this river saying hi, finds Morpheus on the scuttle, but StarCraft over here on this Yorick has already shoved this wave in and doing a good job there of distracting Ganwyn, meaning Ganwyn can miss that entire wave as it's pushed under the tower, actually. Not necessarily a spot you want to be in. Speaking of top lane, Ganwyn down 28 fire into 52 already on this Malphite. He's doing a good job of not dying, though.
I was just about to mention that, and that is definitely not looking good, especially against Yorick, who does a lot of damage in 1v1 dueling situation, and it's not going to be fun for Malphite at all. The longer the lane goes, it's going to be the more advantage it's going to be for Yorick, because Yorick just want to keep the laner in check and try to 1v1 duel him and win, and then constantly get that lead as far as they can, so no one can match him when he's split with him.
And meanwhile, in this top side, though, both Theatrix and Morpheus here sitting topside, waiting for their opportunity for a gank. Theatrix doing a good job of reading the situation, though, popping that sweeping lens, popping that Oracle's lens. He knows he's been spotted, can clear that ward out and go straight back to his bot side jungle. And Morpheus going to turn on his blue buff over here. And it's now all quiet on the top lane, western front now. So Ganwyn shoving this wave in, likely going to go back now. Taking stock of this mid lane matchup here. Flash's already lost the plating.
Speaking of mid lane though, what Aurelion Soul really excels at is early roaming with his E, which travels across the wall for a long distance. Unfortunately, with the Xerath wave clear, he can't effectively wave clear without taking damage, or Xerath can match the speed of Aurelion Soul. It may not be exactly the same, but Xerath can somehow, some way similarly match Aurelion Soul's clear, making Aurelion Soul very difficult for him to roam around early game.
Yeah, very much so, but speaking of roaming, here comes Flesh coming into this top lane here. Going to roam, Ganwyn going in with the unstoppable force. StarCraft gets stunned up, blown back. Ignite drop, StarCraft be taken very low, doing his best to sustain through. He's going to walk away, but unfortunately going to go down in the end of Flesh. Meanwhile, in bot lane, Slogging going to drop the Jericho, but he's going to drop immediately. OP Puppy getting the kill on that one, but OP Puppy going to get taken down by Jirachi on Sivir. Morpheus hard on Jirachi to be flash popped by Sivir, doing their best to run away here. Theatrix taking extremely low, Purple Psycho Dog flashing in. It's going to be a kill going over the Beowulf on Theatrix real quick. And Jirachi can be poised to run away with his tail between his legs here. Purple Psycho, speaking of tails, Purple Psycho Dog here on the Xerath. Run him down, but Flash back in this mid lane.
Unfortunately for Paul, StarCraft did go down and giving Malphite some breathing room, but that whole interaction bot lane with the Morpheus ganking the bot lane and Theatrix trying to counter gank, but unfortunately it looks like Paw Patrol got the best of the trades.
Yeah, very much so. And going into this next dragon fight that we're going to see coming up soon, I believe it's another Cloud Drake actually. It's going to be very interesting to see.
You know, Cloud Drake, I think it's really underrated, in my opinion. And having that early mobility, especially for a team like OTP, is going to be very invaluable. And having the Hecarim, for Hecarim it's pretty much double buff, right? Buffing the damage and buffing the damage by increasing the speed and buffing the mobility. It's just too good on Hecarim, and securing the second one is gonna be extremely crucial for 1-2 Pony.
And again, with that 5v5 team fight we're talking about from the side of One Twig Pony here, looking for a fight with this Cloud Drake is going to be something that's going to interest them very much, as Ganween here sitting top lane with this teleport on Malphite over here, and it's Unstoppable Force coming up soon. This 5v5 is going to be something that OTP can easily take in this stage of the game, as Yorick can't really, run down the top side to punish him for that if he were to teleport. However, StarCraft, though, can still do a very good job of keeping the pressure on top side in this 1v1 matchup, because he still wins this duels and makes sure that if Ganween decides to go for this Dragon team fight, then he's going to at least lose a tower and a decent amount of farm as well.
I do have a question though. See, so Yorick's a wall, right?
Yeah.
Maybe check and answer this question for me. Does that count as displacement?
If you get hit by the tip of it, maybe. I think
Yeah,
it counts as
yeah,
a wall.
So technically, he
Weird.
has a way to stop the TP, but
I don't know if that counts for TP. I think it's a
Really?
displacement in theory. Like, I think it is a displacement in the sense of the word, the definition of the word displacement. I don't think it's coded as a displacement though. I'm not sure.
because it
It
does
might
slightly bump him. But I never thought about if it's actually stopping the back or anything, because you're too busy running away from the wall in the first place.
Actually, be hilarious if that happened. Theatrix sitting mid, trying to cover this mid lane, doing a good job. Meanwhile, on bot lane though, Beowulf take down Jirachi. It's gonna be a duo kill going over the side of Paw Patrol in the bot lane matchup. It's right with the Arcane from Purple Psycho Dog going wide on Theatrix. He's gonna escape just fine. Start farming up those Raptors. Ganween waiting in the wings in mid lane though, as they start this drag. Purple Psycho Dog, Shocking Orb goes wide. Ganween going in, Unstoppable Force. Ignite drop. Flesh gonna take him down really quick. Stopwatch pop by Super over Cycle Dog. Theatrix coming in here, taking him down with a pony. Here he goes. The team fight's underway. Everyone's getting mowed down. OTP cleaning house here in this early team fight. Morpheus.
No, Morpheus.
Morpheus got a great smite combo down onto this dragon though, and gonna do the best he can to run away from Flash here.
That was a bad choice by Morpheus. He had to turn against the team instead of focusing on the dragon, and now he's gonna take him.
Oh, okay, he's out.
Okay.
We're good. And Fletch popping mastery. Come on, man.
Hey, no toxicity in any form allowed. Commissioner Greg, 2018.
You heard it here, boys. At the
No, you
very
didn't hear
least,
it
they
here.
get that. At the very least, you get that consolation prize from the Cloud Drake. So that's how it's gonna be.
I
Yep.
mean, sure, they get the
That is
constellation
indeed.
dragon, but I honestly, last fight, Morpheus should have turned as soon as he can, because he has Sejuani ultimate to lock down the CC, and with Sejuani, that could have actually got the better trade out of that. I genuinely believe that Paw Patrol could have got 2 extra kills on top of the dragon after team fight. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen, and I don't know what the communication was at the same time, but.
Yeah, I think that's a very legitimate statement. However, the thing that I call into question is, especially with Purple Psycho Dog being dropped low in the first place, how much of a chance do they really have of winning that fight, even with Morpheus turning? Well, that's happening. Ganween gonna be really low in top lane and be forced to flash out.
And speaking of top lane, the CS lead is only becoming bigger and bigger.
Oh, man, 44 CS lead, jeez.
Isn't that that's like kill and a half, right? Or is in terms
That's
of
that's like 3, yeah, that's like 2.5, 3
Yeah.
almost. That's a substantial gold lead.
as Joe would say, would Joe say this? You hate to say that, see that?
I believe he does say that, yeah, you do hate to see that.
You do hate
But-
to see that for sure.
Of course, one thing coming in here that is actually very valuable, though, is Ganween's pressure on the other side of the map has been instrumental in getting Flesh fed. So, you might have a decent amount of kills worth of gold differential in the top lane from the farm, but Flesh with a 4 kills, with a 3 kill lead in the mid lane off the efforts of Ganween, partially off the efforts of Ganween's roams down there. So in a way, that gold really hasn't gone anywhere. It's just been traded around multiple members of the team.
And Flash is going to be the key player of this game, and as soon as I believe that Aurelion Soul is going to get rallies against their comp, because it just fits the comp so nicely. And once you finish the rallies, there's not really much you can do. Most, if not all, minus Kaisa, are all, immobile in a way. And just having that constant slow and the constant engage by OTP, the things are not looking good at all.
Yeah, I would agree. Rally is a very strong item here, and typically you almost always see the first two complete core items from Aurelion Soul going to be Rod of Ages and Rylai's. However, Aurelion Soul has multiple options actually on the build. And as I say that, Purple Psycho Dog popping right into the Arcane mid. Flesh doing a good job of dodging them out, only going to get hit by one of them. Here comes Theatrix, the gank in the mid lane. Good juke, but the Shocking Orb going to catch him. And he's going to be forced to walk away from this one. And meanwhile, in the bot lane, though, Slug and Jirachi, Slug off that Terror Cult. Borkbeus coming in for the gank. He gets stunned. Oh. Jirachi looking for the turn. He ignites pop. Borkbeus gonna run away. Arctic Assault the hell out of there, but Jirachi popping that Zibberel. Gotta go fast. Here they come. Here's Theatrix for the return gank. Beowulf popping the Unbreakable Will, but here down he goes. Kill going to Theatrix. Theatrix box is so low with the trap. Ooh, OP Puppy gonna clean him up before going down to Jirachi again, but here's Purple Psycho Dog in the bot lane with the roam down. Zog looking for the turn though, the stun going out. Good flash away from the Jirachi though, and Purple Psycho Dog kiting back, seeing what she can do here. Jirachi though, no mana on the Civ, gonna be difficult for it to close out this fight. Flash still waiting in the wings here, let's see what he can do on this Aurelion Soul. Looks like he's just gonna go back right now.
Honestly, OP Puppy played the best he could. He knew he was dead. There's no way that he can escape from Hecarim, who still has his ultimate. And the fact that he using the Kai'Sa to get to the other side and try to live as much as they can and trading 1-for-1, what the Kai'Sa for Hecarim, it wasn't that awful. Although OTP still got ahead in the trade, unfortunately. But he did manage to burn Jirachi's flash, which is going to be valuable for next team fight.
Yeah, that flash was interesting. It was, like, I would definitely call it a panic flash, but you know, other than that, honestly played pitch perfectly there by the bot lane duo from the side of OTP here, and that's exactly the individual skill you're looking at coming out of both of these players. It's going to help turn this game around. Meanwhile, though, Ganwian going to be unstoppable force from StarCraft in top lane, and StarCraft flashing away. Let's see what it do, but Flash going to take him down over here. Meanwhile, in Dragon, though, Beowulf is taking down Theatrix, and there's a huge brawl going on down on this drag. OP Pumpkin flash in, go on to Jirachi. Slogging forced to run away for his life now on this Taric, but it looks like it's not going to be enough, and that's going to be a double kill, bringing OP Puppy now to 4 and 3 on this Kai'Sa, powering up very quickly here. Things are looking a little scary for OTP right now. And on top of that, they're getting the first turret bot lane.
Yeah, the gold lead in the goal differences about 5 minutes ago was about exactly the same. But now, PAW has about 3k difference, almost, no, that's more of a 2.5k lead over OTP, as well as getting that win Drake.
Yeah, that's actually a massive gold swing here. And I was actually about to say, looking like StarCraft was going to be able to take down this first turret in the top lane, but as soon as I was going to say that, Flash answering top on the roam, and Paw Patrol getting those quick kills in the bot lane, transitioning into both bot and mid turrets though, and a first turret, means they are now squarely in control. I wouldn't say squarely, but they're definitely in control of this game in general, going into about 20 minutes into this game with a 2,000 gold lead. And from what I'm hearing, Jingo PMA has just subscribed. Congratulations on the subscription. As I say that, though, StarCraft taking down top turret, gonna get mobbed again. Man, isn't top lane fun?
Yeah, this is why I don't play top lane. I don't like top lane. I hate top lane. I hate support. I'll just play mid and jungle.
Hey man, just don't go past the river. It's that easy. OTP looking for this contest into the blue buff here. Beowulf can be stunned up. Popping that Unbreakable Will, gonna kite back to it and do it. And here comes the Taric. Oh, unstoppable force from Ganwian going awry though. Beowulf can be taken down by Theatrix. Onslaught of shadows there. And Riley the Arcane be popped by Purple Psycho Dog here. A lot of damage can be done to OTP, but not enough to really affect anything. And looks like OTP gonna go back into this mid lane now and reset.
So remember how I said that the Flash is gonna be the key player in the team? And if you see the last team fight just now, towards the top jungle, the blue team's blue buff, entire time, Aurelion Sol has been zoning out, has been in between PAW and OTP, trying to get the most.
No, OP Puppy gonna get stunned up, and we have a full-on team fight breaking out here. OP Puppy gonna be taken down in the front line very quickly by Flash, but return kill from Borgtheus onto Jirachi here. It looks like it is just a frontline fiesta here coming out from these carries, and they're having a very rough time of it in that fight.
I just don't want to fight right now. The OTP has a lot of gold on Aurelion Sol, who is doing a lot of zoning, a lot of damage at the same time. And right now, the
massive unstoppable force coming out from Ganwing here. Flash godlike. Theatrics with the flank on the turret dive. The good old, giving him the good old reach around. Ganwing gonna take down Beowulf. That's gonna be a mid turret going the way of OTP here. Fantastic fight, good setup. That being said, StarCraft going down this bot lane, gonna get himself a bot lane turret in exchange for his efforts. And OP Puppy here.
You can win this. He can win this.
I've seen him win these. I've seen him win these. I've actually seen him win these.
Yeah, remember how I just said not OTP, PAW just don't want to fight right now because all the damage that Aurelion Sol has and the engages when your teammate low. You just don't want to do that. Fortunately, the StarCraft going bot lane in order to get the second tier tower kinda made it up for it, but just losing that mid turret allows OTP to really now focus on either A, Baron, or B, a first tier turret that is still standing right now. And the weird thing about this whole interaction is that the gold is back to even again from before.
And that team fight looking like, you know, like it was ripped straight out of a passage from the analysis book there. As we talked about earlier, the delayed engage coming in, Paw Patrol not giving it the respect they deserve, and Ganwing able to get that massive 3-man Malphite ult after all the action that had already happened. Meanwhile, the Ganwing traded on the top lane by StarCraft, but looks like he's going to be mostly fine. Yeah, he'll be good.
Yeah, the Paw Patrol has to be really careful. It has to set as much ward as possible, although the OTP is clearing as much ward as possible.
Well, looks like the engage is being called from One-Twick Ponies here. They're running in. Purple Psycho Dog forced to run away on the flanks. Borgtheus got the cover though. Looks like they're gonna be just fine. Purple Psycho Dog doing the good old wrap around into the jungle here. Run away. Blast coning over the wall. Ooh, I like the TP. I dig it.
Oh, that was a spicy TP. Nice escape by Purple Psycho Dog right there. And while the mid fight was happening, top lane against the Yorick versus Malphite, Yorick forces Malphite to flash away, being trapped from the wall.
And one thing to point out there is with that ward showing there, had Purple Psycho Dog, obviously likely did not know about the ward there, but at the same time, being able to teleport in that bush away is definitely saved her. But Jirachi though, walking into a bush, gonna get Psycho Dog and exploded. He'll go into the OP Puppy. Meanwhile, Slug and Theatric do what they can to turn this fight, but there is just so much damage from so many members of Paw Patrol coming out here. That's gonna be a shutdown onto Theatrics and Purple Psycho Dog. And Mountain Drake can be going the way of Paw Patrol, and we see the Baron call coming out here.
That's gonna be a Baron. The jungler is dead, and they got the damage for it. Kai'Sa burns Baron and objective so fast.
It's a melts Baron.
Yeah, and having the Purple Psycho Dog and having the entire team just focus on Baron. Look at that, she already half health. Look at that.
And looking at some of the builds this game, I wouldn't say there are necessarily some like efficiency things to be like had. Like none of these builds are bad, but one thing that's very interesting is we are using a lot of very old school builds, and we're using some builds that perhaps have different ways of doing things than normal. Like for example, this Infinity Edge Rageblade build coming out on Kai'Sa was meta a couple patches ago, but now you see most of the Kai'Sas transitioning, most Kai'Sa players at the top level transitioning that Storm Razor Rageblade builds, because like the stats you get from Storm Razor are so insane, and you combine Storm Razor Pickaxe, because the pickaxe goes into Rageblade with your initial AD. I'm not sure. You might be able to get. I think you might be able to get like evolved Icathian Rain. Actually, it's something like level 9, level 11 from that build still, which makes it really good, but just the combination of that attack damage and attack speed on that Storm Razor is so very important for Kaisa. It makes Storm Razor an item worth buying first on her. So that being said, though, I still don't think the IE Rageblade build is that bad on Kaisa, and she's going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage. That being said, the other build we're talking about here is the Aurelian Soul build, as seeing the Rod of Ages, Rylai's Sword Shoes, and Leandry's, and so one of the other options that we see coming out of Aurelian Soul is the Boots of Swiftness, which I actually prefer that option greatly because it gives you much more control over your stars. And personally, I don't think he needs Sword Shoes I don't think he needs Sword Shoes per se into this game. So that would probably be the one change that I would make for sure. But also another interesting thing to consider is a lot of Aurelian Souls used to run Haunting Guys and then transition into the Rylai's, and that build started coming around with the old school like AP item rework in the middle of Season 8, and so like Aurelian Souls that were going to be sustaining through a lot of fights for a long time would run that build. Ooh. As I say that now, huge engage coming out from Paw Patrol's are actually taken very low. Kill go with Purple Psycho Dog with the right of the Arcane. They're going to get the inhib. Morpheus, Ganween, Theatric doing what they can to take him down, but it's not going to be enough. And Paw Patrol here, they're grouping as 5. They're taking down this bot lane turret. OTP wasn't prepared. Theatric has this back lane flank, and they're just running. They're going for it.
Wait, this is game.
Taken down. Kill going over to Beowulf. Yeah, this looks like a game. Theatric's running in, doing what he can to save them, but he too is also going to go down. Beowulf with double kill already. Alistar combo going down. Purple Psychic Dog, kill on Ganween. That's going to be a massive cleanup. And yeah, looks like OTP just kind of caught off guard here. It's going to be game 1 going over to Paw Patrol.
Wait, that's a... What? Hold up. Okay, okay. I mean, I understand. But... I honestly did not expect the game to end just right there. Like, what the heck happened?
I mean,
let's talk about that real quick. So they got Baron. They caught Hecarim, secured the Mountain Dragon, got the Baron, and StarCraft constantly pushing tower bot lane, forcing Malphite engage, which he forced Malphite to use his ultimate to escape the wall, which allowed Paw Patrol to play a lot more aggressively. And while that's happening, the rest of the team I'm pretty sure was pushing mid or getting the vision on the bot side jungle. And right after, the entire team just moved to the bot lane where One Trick Pony was not positioned correctly. And from there, they just snowballed, got a pick from Jirachi, went ahead to the base, and ended the game just like that. That's actually crazy. I didn't expect that to happen so soon, though.
Yeah. So I think that's just a case of one crucial game-ending mistake occurring, like in the one position you don't want it to, because people make game-ending mistakes all the time, per se. But I think that's just a case of like Paw Patrol just walking up to the inhib, and OTP just kind of just caught him off guard for some reason. Maybe someone just wasn't prepared, and you already start off on the wrong foot for a fight that occurs in your own base. Like, you basically lose the game off that mistake for free, and I think that's just exactly what happened there. So it's not necessarily a super severe mistake in terms of like, oh wow, so and so is so awful at this game. It's just the one mistake you don't want to make at the worst time to make it.
Mm-hmm. Usually so I've seen One Trick Pony play quite a bit. So there are certain conditions that has to be met in order for a team to just completely snowball, and one of them is Jirachi has to be ahead to deal damage. Jirachi performs the best when when the player is ahead. And Theatric as well, when the Theatric is ahead, performs extremely well, but neither of those players wasn't exactly ahead nor even. They got a lot of work done, yes, sure, but that just wasn't enough against Paw Patrol. Unfortunately, having the Kaisa, having that Xerath to constantly poke out the damage, it just wasn't enough for One Trick Pony to do a lot of work. And Rob, who is just joining us, Paw Patrol won the game at 27 minutes and 55 seconds with a solid 1-0, and we're about to go to the game 2. But speaking of, before we go to the game 2, let's talk about the player of the
MVP?
game. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's actually a very tough one because I feel like it was a team. I feel like it was a team effort from. I don't want to say Paw Patrol didn't win the game because they had a lot of good moments, but and it's definitely not saying that Paw Patrol couldn't have, won that game if it hadn't have happened. But a lot of the things that happened from Paw Patrol were like flat out a team, a team effort. And then you look at how the game happened to end, and it was off of, One Twick Ponies not being prepared for that. And so it's very difficult from that just to make a judgment as to who like really popped off. Yeah. But I think though my vote is just gonna have to go the way of Purple Psycho Dog for that one, just for the all-around most consistent performance. Tied for least deaths, has a good amount of kills, and put out a lot of pressure and dealt a significant amount of damage. Let me check the stats on this. Yeah, see, no one's even like there's only one player who's like around 8,000 within her, and that's Jirachi.
Uh,
So
yeah, I'm gonna have to actually disagree with that statement. Well, you can think what you want. I'm not you, but I'm gonna have to give this StarCraft, despite the score, and it's really funny. If you look at StarCraft score, it's 0-3-2. Like, oh my god, you can't just give it to the guy who's 0-3-2. He's feeding his asses off. But hear me out. So during the top lane, he forced the enemy jungler. Well, not really forced. He got ganked by theatrics all the time, and despite being behind in terms of because of the ganks that the OTP created, he still went ahead. He still got the tower, right? And he constantly shoved the tower in order to get that macro game. That's what I was talking about in the beginning of the game and before we started. That Paw Patrol has to play this game macroly very well in order to win against team fight oriented, all engaging team comp that is One Trick Ponies. And having that Baron buff, as soon as he got Baron buff, StarCraft by bot lane constantly went up. That's right. He played by the win condition, shoving the turret and preparing to set up to get the tower with the Baron buff and through. And even when he was 0-3 against Malphite, he was forcing his flash, forcing his ultimate to escape, so he couldn't use him on the engages. And StarCraft just did a lot, but his scores doesn't show it. But he forced a lot of pressure in side lanes. That's my opinion, and to me, that's a lot. That's what won the game. That's my opinion, though.
I think you can make the case that StarCraft definitely helped with his pressure. And despite the fact that you look at that KD 0-3-2, I think the case can be made that he was the only player who individually stood out in terms of the amount of pressure he put on the map at any given point. But then, of course, the question has to be asked: how much of that was like clean pressure, and how much of it was just him running it down and getting caught out, and the rest of his team just happening to do stuff?
I mean, it's not about the end result, right? It's about, well, let me rephrase that before I look bad. It's not about the journey. It's about the end result. It's not about how much you got ganked. It's about how you played after the game. And
Fair. All right, and so with that, StarCraft's in the lead for your MVP poll, but we're going to take a very quick stream break for the sake of cutting VODs, and we will be back with you very shortly. See you guys for game 2.
be right back.